How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korban Gaming. Welcome back to this week's Adventure Quest release video, and boy, it has been a roller coaster of emotions for this entire week, to say the least, or at least the past 1 day, 2 days. Yeah, so for those of you guys who are unaware, there's a lot that went on for the donation contest, and I'm just gonna go through all of it first to give you guys some background information on what actually happened, because I think a lot of people are out of the loop and we do have quite a few new members to the channel as well as to my Discord. So welcome new members. Okay, so for those who don't know what the big hoo-ha is about, first of all, we are talking about the summer donation set contest for this year, and if you don't know what that is, basically every single year AQ hosts 2 donation events, one during the summer period that just ended and one in the winter period that is coming up very soon. So players will be able to donate Z tokens to go ahead and win themselves some very exclusive and powerful prizes during this time of the year. Of course, you do have to be a rather large whale in order to qualify for the top cut, but the bottom cut prizes, top 100, top 200, usually they are quite easy to get. I recommend every single player to donate some amount to reach this. Also, I would also highly recommend everyone to go ahead and make 10 characters and level them up to at least level 25. You will have a chance of receiving the donated tokens as long as you save a winning battle every single day, and that is how I managed to get 226,075 tokens this donation contest. And all I had to do was log in on each character every single day and win one battle, and that is honestly not hard to do at all. All you have to do is make the account and level it up once, and you can use it in your whole life every single year for donation contests. You spend 2 to 5 minutes on each character winning a battle, log out, do it on the next character, rinse and repeat for 10 characters every single day, and that's all you have to do. Realistically speaking, even if you're not using the launcher that I am using right now, which does give you the ability to play on 10 characters at once, even if you do that manually, it'll take you less than an hour and you can earn up to 226,000 tokens if you're as lucky as me. I do think that I am the current record holder for most number of tokens received on one account in the contest, but if any of you guys receive a higher amount, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below as well. Usually the first few days and the last few days are the most important. In between, not so much, but do try to get in your battles as well, because those small amounts actually do add up. Okay, and normally how they would pick the prizes is they will have a suggestion thread that they will start up at the beginning of the contest, and then staff will look through the suggestions from players there. Anyone can go ahead and suggest ideas for the set, and then usually staff will pick the set that is the most supported. Okay, so this year we actually a lot went on. Okay, so first off, there was this set by Draco. Okay, and his set actually got quite a fair bit of support at the start. So he posted his suggestion very early on when the thread just started up. Like, I think within the first few days of the thread being started up, he posted the suggestion, because they were already discussing it way before the suggestion thread came out. And naturally, a few people who was part of, you know, making the set, they supported the set. So it got about 5 to 6 supporters, which is actually quite a lot, considering that it was still very early on, and you know, nobody even really came up with concrete ideas yet on what they want, and nobody really started to, you know, gather suggestions from others to see if they like the set and, you know, that sort of stuff. So mostly the supporters were people who also had a hand in making the set, and understandably they would support the set that they are making, right? So things happen. Okay, some people didn't like it, myself included. So what we did was we got the top whale, which is Gwen, and she has been top for quite a few years already, or at least top few. Normally what she does is she will go ahead and gather up all the whales, the top donors, you know, gather their feedback, their suggestions, and try to come up with something cohesive that everybody will be willing to support, so that, you know, the most supported set that we get will be something that majority is going to be happy with. Now, to be very honest, it's impossible to just please every single person. That's just not possible. Everyone has different play styles, everyone has different characters, different builds, and all that sort of stuff, and everyone likes to play different things. So you know, as it is with real life, you cannot please everybody. So of course you can only look to please the majority, and she of course tried to do that again this year. Now at the start, even though their set had the most support, it was still I would say a bit lacking in terms of, you know, the actual numbers compared to the past years. You're going to need a lot more than 5 to 6 people supporting a set in order to push it through, because this year the cut has been expanded to top 50, so you definitely want to get more numbers than that. So in order to do that and to appease the people that weren't really fans of his set, Gwen actually suggested a compromise, but Draco actually did not want to compromise at all, and that really left quite a sour taste in some people's mouth. So basically, a huge number of those who initially supported his set, they decided to abandon support the set and came over to my Discord to go ahead and discuss a new set where we all work together. There's like a lot of people that were involved in the ideas for the set, people throwing out suggestions, people you know, giving ideas of their own, and you know, basically just the top wheels saying what they actually want to see in the set. So compromises were made, and people from both sides actually came together to go ahead and, you know, make a set that everyone could enjoy. And after that was done, we posted up the suggestion. This was pretty late into the contest. Probably we only started working on the set like the second last week before the contest ended. Okay, and then we posted the set around that time as well. We only took like 3 to 4 days of super intensive discussions. Like there were like hundreds and thousands of messages discussing the set for those who were involved. So yeah, took a few days to come up with suggestions that we are happy with. Gwen posted the suggestion and immediately we got like a whole ton of support. So eventually we end up with like 38 supporters, I think. All top 5 supported the set. Majority of the top 50 supported the set, more than half, and there were also some from top 100 and top 200 who also supported the set. So not only do we have support from the top whales, but we also had support from the more casual players, people who were non-whales, who were willing to support the set because they like the ideas. And I think that is actually fantastic that the community was willing to come together to go ahead and make something that most people would enjoy. Unfortunately, the suggestion came a bit too late. Normally, what we would assume is that the staff usually starts work on the set after the contest has ended, but this year it was not the case, okay, according to Holo, because they were short-staffed and they were in a rush to, you know, go ahead and finish up things. So they actually started making the set a lot earlier this year, and what happens was that they actually decided to make Draco's set instead. That tells me that they really started working on the set super duper early on, okay, even before our set suggestion came out. So it's like not even 2 weeks before the contest ended, probably like a month or like 2 months even before the contest ended, they already saw Draco's set having the most support and they decided to make that set already, which is a bit of a bummer, okay, because, you know, eventually their set were left with like 5 supporters compared to our 38 supporters. Not saying that their set is like horrible or anything, but it's just that, you know, as a business, you obviously want to, you know, please as many people as possible, right? So when the set dropped on like a few days ago, people were very, very unhappy, myself included, because the precedent was that we always got the set that had the most support, whereas for this year, that wasn't what we got. And you know, this year they set a whole bunch of new stretch goals, and this is also the year whereby the most number of tokens were donated for any single contest in the history of AQ. For like the past 20 years, there has never been a time where the amount of donations was so high. We hit like 36 million total donations. They set goals for 20 million, they set goals for 30 million, and we absolutely shattered the records. So a lot of money was dropped, a lot of money was being spent. So you can see when, you know, the whales, the people who dropped like hundreds of thousands of dollars didn't get what they want, of course there's going to be a lot of unhappiness, right? So you know, Gwen eventually came up with the thread over here, which I'm going to show you guys. Oops, okay, so saying how unhappy we were and how the staff actually did not inform us beforehand that they had already started working on the set. So people just didn't know, and there was no mention of it at all, and people just kept posting their suggestions on what they like to see. And of course, naturally at the end, people will assume that the staff will only start at the end, so they'll look at the set with the most number of support and they'll go ahead and make that set. But that was not the case this year, so that was why they decided to make Draco's set instead, and that made a lot of people unhappy. So these are all the reasons that she gave. You guys can go ahead and check this out on your own. It's on the forums, okay? I will put a link down in the description if you guys want to see that. And of course, myself as well backing this thing. So most people, they wanted them to reverse what they did to the set, basically just change the whole set to the most supported one. And at that point of time, I did think that was the most logical solution, keeping in mind their workload, keeping in mind what majority of the people for the who donated a huge amount for the contest actually wanted. So in the end, what ended up happening was last night, Holo actually posted this statement. I understand that catering to everyone's preferences in our diverse player community can be a challenging task given the wide array of character builds and playstyles. We always try to do our best to create an experience that offers something for everyone. Due to recent staffing shortages and a substantial workload, so for those of you guys that don't know, INT, one of the main coders of the game, actually took sick leave for 2 weeks. So yeah, the game is technically only down to one coder, which is Cam, I think. Yeah, Holo, I think he does some art and animations, and Anim is like animations mostly. I don't know if Anim does coding or not, I'm not very sure on that. So yeah, the staff, they are basically short-staffed, and that's why Holo made the decision to begin work on the Wingweaver gear ahead of schedule. This has never been done before, so obviously nobody knew about this because they never mentioned anything about that. But after having the suggestion thread open for over 2 months, Draco's suggestion emerged as the most optimal choice. So obviously they looked at the thread very early on and started work very early on. That was why it led to this whole drama happening. However, it is completely fair to assume that we would select the suggestion that garnered the most support by the end of the contest, and he's right about that because that's been the precedent, and in my opinion, is the most fair way of picking out the set, which is to pick one that most people are happy with. So he's not wrong in saying that, and he acknowledges that, which is good on them for that. And then here he goes on to say he sincerely apologizes for not communicating this decision more clearly in advance. It is great to witness the incredible effort from our community in coming together to make a well-defined selection for what they envision the Wingweaver set to be. And for me personally, I think this statement is the one that basically sealed the deal. Everyone makes mistakes, that's normal. But owning up to your mistakes, acknowledging it, and then taking steps to go above and beyond to improve and to fix those mistakes, I think that is what makes this game great. I am one of the game's harshest critics, not going to lie. I shit on them a lot for the stuff that they do, but stuff like this, you can really see why Holo is actually the AQ lead. This is the professionalism that players want to see. This is the type of response that players want to see, that gives them the faith and the trust to continue to support the game financially. Mistakes were made, but hey, we are going to fix the mistake and we are going to do a damn good job at it, and that is what they did. So I want to emphasize that I'm in no way diminishing Draco's exceptional work on their suggestions. We are committed to continuing the development of the armor and weapons based on Draco's suggestion, and you can expect these to be available today or tomorrow. So they're going ahead with Draco's suggestion. But additionally, I'm pleased to announce that at a date to be determined, we don't know when this will be, but I really hope it will be soon, given their busy schedule. I really hope to see this soon. We'll be releasing a second alternate version of the Wingweaver set inspired by Gwen's suggestion. We appreciate everyone's patience and collaboration in shaping the future of Adventure Quest. And this is basically perfect for this year. Not only are we getting one set, but we are getting two. Guys, 2 sets, and the fact that they expanded the cut this year means it was cheaper than ever to go ahead and get the full set. The cutoff for top 50 this year was 239k. In the past, it was like 400k, 600k, 700k. This year they expanded the cut, and the cutoff was only 239k tokens. And for that, you get 2 full sets that is going to do different things. Never have we ever seen a donation contest that got us 2 full sets. I think this is the best possible solution that they could have made. Instead of, screwing over one side, they went ahead with this suggestion, and that pleases both sides. So yeah, this is going above and beyond, considering their the short staffing and their already substantial workload. The fact that they are willing to do a second set instead of scrapping one side's ideas. The fact that they are going to give us 2 completely different sets, this is amazing, guys. What can I say? So if you're ever wondering if the staff listens to us, the answer is heck yes, they do. And everybody's opinions are important. So if you're unhappy with something, then be sure to voice it out, because the staff is definitely listening and they do take everyone's opinions very seriously, and they will work hard to go ahead and ensure that people are going to be happy with the state of the game. And I love it. Like, yeah, this is the professionalism that I hope to see going forward. Okay, yes, emotions and tensions were very high. The past few days, people are very unhappy. A lot of mean things were said for sure. I even threatened a refund and a boycott if we didn't get it. But justified when you're spending that much money. But yeah, with this response, I am happy to say that I will be very pleased and to continue to support the game for years down the road if we continue to see such stellar performance and responses from the staff involved. Alright, so that is it for the whole thing. Okay, so the second set is not out yet. So we only got the first set, which is Draco's suggestion, out, and the info subs are already out. Some items are bugged. Also, we are getting some new items for the free community set. We are getting a new pet as well as a spell. So I'm gonna go through that first, and then we'll go through the set. Also, I did just manage to hit top 25 this year, so I did get the color custom version of that, which I am also very, very happy about. So let's go through the spell first. The spell, King Claw Assault. Okay, so I am a lucky beast mage build, so I have 250 intellect, charisma, and luck. The spell comes in SP and MP versions. Okay, standard cost, so if you're using the SP version, it will be 392 SP. I'm using the MP one, so it's 653 MP. Okay, does magic damage and causes 125% melee in MP. Wait, what? Is this 125%? I thought this was 100%. Okay. Skill causes 100% melee in SP and does melee damage if wielding a melee weapon. Otherwise does range damage. Does 5 hits of damage with 105 base damage lean and neutral accuracy lean. Does standard 200% melee damage at base, sacrificing 100% melee to do similar status effects to the weapons from this set. If you select either Water Elevon or Water Drain Poison, Elevon lasts 4 turns. 100% melee doubles to 200% due to the save. Over 1.4 for affecting your whole field, and over 4 for number of turns gives it 35.71% melee value. So I will apply a plus 35.71 times hits over attempts, damage taken to Water Elevon. So if you manage to land all hits, it's extra 35.71% Elevon. Poison will last 4 turns as well, deals 25 times hits over attempts percent melee per turn. So it's 20 each turn you'll get 25% melee worth of poison. Heals player equal to damage dealt. Both inflicts with intellect overlap for spell, either strength overlap or dex overlap for skill, depending on damage type. Versus mobs endurance overlap on what would normally be a 50% save. Mastercraft gives this a minus 20 penalty though, so mob actually has only a 30% base chance to resist the status. Okay, and you can choose here. So Toxic Claws, this is going to be the poison. 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a lot of hits. What? How many hits was that? Okay, 2.53 rounds. Let's see if it stacks. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about, yeah, it's does it say here it's 5 hits? Does it say it's 5 hits here? Oh yeah, 5 hits. That is more than your average cap of 4 hits, which is very nice against damage caps. Not that you're going to use this against damage caps, because you can see the damage is not very high. So I guess this is balanced. That's how they balance it in this sense. And then you can do Crushing Claw. Okay, so it's also 5 hits and it inflicts any round, so 136%. The poison does stack. The stacking is okay, and the best part is you can stack this weapon with itself. You can do the Ellie round first, and then you can do the poison for more damage and bigger heals. Okay, so poison does stack. Let's see the Ellie round. Ellie round does stack as well. Wow. Considering it costs the same amount as a regular spell, I think this is actually decent. Okay, the poison on one cast isn't particularly strong. The Ellie round on one cast isn't particularly strong either, considering they aren't quick casters. But all in all, I would say it's decent. This spell gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Also, it's 5 hits, so that's definitely a, something to think about in today's meta with a lot of damage caps. Not bad, not bad. Decent spell. Now we'll check out the pet. The pet, Snapping Turtle Terror. Okay, so let's see what the pet does. It's a water pet, randomly does 2 attacks. One doing 1 hit, the other doing 3 hits, 50% chance for each. Mastercraft toggles between 2 modes. Both modes pay half pet damage, worth 20% melee. By default, the pet is in Death Loss mode, where it passively lowers enemy MRM versus water attacks by minus 5.1 for 4 turns with a 50% save. This doesn't require a hit and is passively attempted after the pet acts. Okay, it's good that it doesn't require a save. 5% melee is worth plus 3 BKH for the player's side, so 20% melee is worth plus 12 BKH for the player's side. Times 0.85 since it doesn't require a hit, times 2 due to the save, and over 4 for it lasting 4 turns. So you get minus 5.1 MRM. Okay, let's look at the Death Loss mode first. So you can either get 1 hit or 3 hit. 1 hit. 5.1 against 1 element only. That is not very good in my opinion. Oh, this is the 3 hit. Oh, okay. Not sure why there. It looks like it's not very polished. Like, look at the animation. Looks like there were multiple layers for that 3 hit attack. Why is that so? Is that intentional? Like, you see this? Why does it look like there's multiple layers coming out? Like, this is a very small nitpick, obviously, but yeah. Overall, I think this mode is not very good. Death Loss in general is not great, and like, minus 5 is kind of a pathetic amount on top of it being only specific to 1 element. So I don't really like this mode. The second mode, Elival mode, attempts a plus 14.29 times hits over attempt. So you get 14.29% if you land all hits. Okay. Water Elival for 2 turns. Both of these normally will have a 50% save. But Mastercraft bonus is used to apply minus 20 penalty to a save instead, inflicting with Charisma over Luck, with the Death Loss being resisted by the mob's Charisma over Luck. Okay, and the Elival being resisted by the mob's Endurance over Luck. If in the Armor Shield of the Murmazon set, the Death Loss and Elival use 24% melee base, so they become 20% stronger. So the Death Loss becomes minus 6.12 MRM. You're getting like what? Extra 1 MRM? That's pathetic. And the Elival becomes plus 17.14, then getting extra 3% Elival. Like, okay, I guess we want to use with the set. It's a small little bonus, but come on, that's pretty pathetic in my opinion. Like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, so 2 turns. It's spread out over 2 turns, so you only get 7% per turn. Oh my god. And it also only affects water. And the stacking for the Elival is pretty piss poor. Oh my god. Landed all hits, right? Yeah. Oh man. Okay, this pet, not very good. I think it's kind of weak. Okay, I do wish the defense loss numbers as and the the Elival numbers will be higher, considering they only affect 1 element. Yeah, I think the pet is kind of bad. I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10. I don't think you should use this pet in my opinion. Yeah, the pet is a hard pass. The spell is okay though. I think could be useful for some people who like status effects. Alright, now let's go ahead and flee the battle. And then now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, we are going to check out the Wingweaver set. Because I got top 25, I do have access to the full set, as well as a color custom version of the armor, which is what I'm going to show over here. Okay, so armor. This is the color custom one, and I love the color custom one. Okay, initially, I did not plan to go for this at all. Then afterwards, I decided to go for it. Then at the very end, I decided to not only go for it, but go for top 25. And looking at it now, I would say it was a good call. Yeah, the fact that I can color custom the colors, I really like it to be in the red and black style. Okay, and yeah, I quite like this. Okay, if not for the color custom, I think I would have hated it. But like, yeah, this, I think it just looks fantastic. I do wish we get the winners of the top 25 do get color custom for all the items, because the weapon, the shield, and the pet's colors obviously don't fit if your armor is color custom. But that is a very small nitpick. So let's go through the set items one by one. First off, the weapon, Wingweaver's Wrath, Fury on Indignation. So Mastercraft Wind Melee Mace, blunt weapon, ranged spear plus polearm, or magic staff. So I'm using the magic version, so this is the staff. Oops, sorry. Plus 5 BTH lean on range, minus 5 otherwise, 0 proc. You can click on it to cast a built-in skill. Normally requires 100% or 125% melee in SP. For the melee range and magic versions, respectively, and deals a baseline of 200% melee damage. However, if you have a minimum of the same melee value in barrier on you, then you eat the barrier to 0 out the SP cost, and you'll also eat up to 300% or 275% melee more worth of barrier even if you pay SP to add that much more damage to the skill. So the skill will deal plus 150% damage for the melee and range version, plus 137.5% damage for the magic version. And for the set bonus, weapon use while you have at least 2 of the armor, shield or miscellaneous item equipped, eats only 90% or 115% melee worth of barrier to zero out the SP cost of the skill, and lowers SP cost otherwise to 90% or 115% melee. Still only eats up to 300% or 275% melee worth of barrier to boost the damage. Okay, so it's a very regular weapon, but with the skill. Okay, so let's go and check out the skill. This one, I have no barriers right now, so let's try the skill. Okay, so it's about 600 to 700 plus damage. That is honestly not bad considering you don't have any barriers at all, and it is pretty hefty cost if you don't have barrier. So that's something to keep in mind. But you know, with this full set, you will be getting some form of barrier. Okay, so you don't need to worry too much about that. Next up, I'll go through the whole synergy for everything later on. The shield. Okay, the shield. It's a Mastercraft Wind Shield and it comes with a skill. Once per turn, you can pay 100% melee in SP to heal HP. Okay, spell is times 0.85, times 0.9, times 0.5 damage. Uses endurance for stats. If you have any negative status effects, then the healing is reduced to cleanse these. So plus 1 affliction healing. If you have 1 affliction, healing is halved. 2 afflictions, no healing, and you have 3 plus afflictions. Charges an additional 50% melee in SP to cleanse each affliction beyond the second if possible. Bonus, you take minus 3 MRM to grant plus 6.25% heal resist. Initially, okay, we were asking for 12.5% heal resist, or at least Draco asked for 12.5% heal resist, but the staff didn't want to give such high numbers, sadly, because the healing skill does synergize with the heal resist in general. So that's why we only ended up getting 6.25%. It's not horrible, but it could obviously be a lot better in my opinion. So it's minus 26% to win. You get 11, 11, 10 MRM. So right now it's currently bugged, I think. So if you're using it with 0 endurance like I am right now, the healing is pathetic. Right now I think it's bugged, whereby you can just click, whereby you can just, you know, spam click the shield to heal. Okay, I think this should be locked to once per turn, as in, like, I feel that that's a bug. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I feel like it should probably be fixed to, you know, once per turn, because I think this is kind of OP and I don't think that they are actually going to let it stay that way. So I'm going to rate the item later on based off the assumed fixed version, which is once per turn, since other shields that we have are only once per turn. And the reason why I say this is broken, if you combine this with Essence Orb, you can basically get a full heal and you can just keep converting your SP using your HP, and then, you know, you can click on the shield. And if you do this enough times, you can end up with like a full HP bar, and on top of that, you'll also be able to get a almost full SP bar, which is just crazy if you allow unlimited clicking. Alright, next up, we have the pet and the guest. Okay, the Wingweaver's affair. So this pet does two things. Okay, first up is a wind pet, toggle between two modes. By default, applies nourishing winds effects to the player. Rename VGen that heals the player's MP and SP for a small amount of melee each turn. Okay, with the charisma based hit bit being kept at 4.675% melee for 2 turns. Doing this instead of doing damage, blah blah blah, some math, and doesn't need the 0.9 penalty. The wind rest bit ensures it's not always useful. So it's based off charisma. It's also based off monsters wind resist, and it can be toggled to a damage mode by clicking its head. This causes 20% melee in SP to the pet deal extra 50% damage. So the nourishing winds mode, I just want to let you guys know. Look at this. Look at how much we are healing. Okay, it's not showing up. I don't know why. Let me just go ahead and cast a spell first so you guys can see how much you will heal. Okay, so this is the 3rd turn of stacking. Okay, look at this, 73. Oh my god, what in the world are those numbers? What in the world are those numbers? Look at how much you are healing. Like, oh my god, the healing, it's horrible, guys. 100 SP, 100 MP per turn with some stacking. Like, come on, this healing is a joke. Guys, this amount is a joke. Who's going to use this? Why is it so weak? Like, I could get a full heal out of Fey Wanderer in like 1 or 2 turns. And this, you're telling me after 3 to 4 turns, you're getting like what? 100 MP and 100 SP heal? That is pathetic. Like, there is no reason to use this pet for the heal mode, in my opinion. As for the damage mode, you're paying 77 SP to deal extra 50% damage. But we already have other win pets that do this, namely Spotted Drake. It's also dealing extra 50% damage for the same cost. So yeah, but the pet also comes with one more mode. Okay, if you click on its body, you will enter Zeal Building mode. This halves the potency of the regen mode and loses 20% melee worth of damage in the damage mode. Okay, each turn this is done, it builds a stack of Zephyr Zeal with a maximum of 10 stacks. So each worth 20% melee, max of 200% melee power. If at max stacks, it will stop building stacks as well as stop lowering its potency / damage. If its body is clicked again and doesn't re-enter Zeal Building mode, its next attack gains bonus potency worth 20% melee per stack of Zeal and can consume up to 5 Zeal stacks at once. So the regen heals something extra percent melee per turn, and the damage mode deals plus 20% damage per Zeal stack. Zeal stacks can only be gained when the mob is 20 levels below you or higher. If this isn't the case, then the pet doesn't lose potency over damage and doesn't build stacks. Stacks carry over across battle. So technically, you can go ahead and build up the stacks first before you enter battle against a boss or something like that. But my question is, you can only use the stacks once and then you have to go ahead and build it up again. So is that kind of worth it? I don't really think so. Okay, so let's build it up to 10 stacks, see how much damage it's going to deal. Okay, using the shield and miscellaneous item from the set, the pet deals extra 10% damage in the damage mode and extra 0.85% melee to the regen in the nourishing winds mode. So the numbers that you're seeing here is already boosted with the full set. Guys, so I need to tell you how horrible this pet is. In my opinion, I think the pet is the worst part of the set. And I do think the heal, like, I don't think there's a way that they can make it better without making it OP or something. So my suggestion would be to just change the heal entirely. Make the pet give barrier instead. I think that will also have more synergy with the set. Like, the heal is just not useful at all. Like, if you want to heal MP and SP at the same time, for a fatter amount with a shorter time duration, just use Fey Wanderer. Like, don't use this pet. If you want damage, then maybe go for Spotted Drake instead, because you do get status potency out of Spotted Drake as well when you're not using it for pure damage. And yeah, I think overall, this pet is not great in either mode. So I would say, you know, save it for something else instead. How many stacks does it have? 10. Okay, so you click on the body again. 5 stacks of Zeal. Oh, they only use 5. They can't use 10. Okay, fine. Let's see how much damage this will deal with 5 stacks of Zeal. 1... Okay, I don't know. Huh. I don't know how much damage that was. That doesn't seem like a lot to me. Let me go ahead and cast Invincible Star. Use up some SP. So, okay, let's see how much damage we can get out of this. How much heal we can get out of this. Okay, 1594 and 767. Huh. Hold on a minute. The MP didn't heal at all. Wait, what? Wait, does it not? Wait. Hold on, 1594 and 871. Okay, so that used up the Zeal, right? So that was like what, 200 MP and like 200 SP with 5 stacks of Zeal? Oh my god, that is pathetic. And do I also need to mention that this heal can't be affected by optical? So because it's a regen effect, optical doesn't affect it. Your normal damage boosters, like your multi-more, like your foam finger, all that doesn't affect this as well. So yeah, it's horrible. You can't boost it either. Oh my god, it's so bad. Okay. Last but not least, okay, not last but not least, but next up we have the miscellaneous item Wingweaver Spirit. Okay, so oh, they fixed the bug already. Okay, they fixed the bug already. Okay, so previously this item was bugged. It will just keep giving you endurance non-stop if you if you keep on equipping it and unequipping it. For some reason they haven't fixed the shield yet. I don't know if the shield unlimited clicks is actually a bug or not. That is my assumption. It's not confirmed anywhere that it's a bug, but I will assume that you're not supposed to be able to click it unlimited times, but they fixed the bug on the miscellaneous item. So previously you could click a bunch of times and get like unlimited endurance and unlimited HP. Okay, I'll throw up a screenshot here of me getting over 10,000 endurance and over 100,000 HP based off that. Pretty crazy. And for people who want to use it to cheese some of the harder bosses, you can. And I know some of the newer players have used that to their advantage already. So good on you if you manage to take advantage of that. But if you missed it, then yeah, sadly you missed it. Okay, so let's see. It halves incoming wind damage times 0.5. Gives you 35 endurance and minus 6.25% heal resist. Allows you to toggle on an effect whereby you pay 20% melee in SP each turn after attacking with a weapon, attack or spell. You gain a barrier 20% melee times hits over attempts worth of HP. Note with status Mastercraft, we're trying to stick to the following. Okay, blah blah blah. That's not important. Alright, so let's go ahead and flee. And then last but not least, we'll talk about the armor. Okay, so the armor the armor is a wind armor, can toggle between mounted or dismounted mode. Okay, so in mounted mode is fully defensive. Normal attack is 2 hits as you guys have seen from just now. Comes with a skill, Invigorating Winds. It's an overcharged spell-like skill, gets Elicom to damage. 2 hits, 300% melee at base. If you have at least 100% melee worth of barrier, then the skill consumes that much and is instead normal SP cost. The skill does extra 50% damage. The first time you cast this skill per battle, it pays 150% melee to grant you minus 12.5% heal resist and applies plus 12.5% heal resist to the mob for the rest of the battle. And you gain a full set bonus when the full set. Okay, mounted skill can be used a second time. For the second application to remain, you need to stay in the full set. If you change out of the full set, you lose it. You lose the second application. But if you change back into the full set, you'll get it back again. Okay, this has been confirmed by Lupao. So shout out to you and thank you for confirming it for me. So 882 SP if you don't have sufficient barrier, which I don't have right now. So let's go and see what it does. Oh, lucky strike. Okay, I guess it's okay. Let's see, how much barrier did we get? Oh no, this one doesn't give barrier, right? This one is just extra damage. Okay. And the heal resist. So let's do this again. Okay, so now we get 25% heal resist coupled with the shield 6.25, and then if you use the miscellaneous item as well. So total amount of heal resist you can get from this set is 37.5% heal resist, which is a far cry from what we asked for. Obviously, that was also one of the main concerns for why I didn't like or supported Draco's set, because not only myself but a lot of people were saying that the proposed numbers, we were probably not going to get that high, and we were right. So overall, we only ended up with 37.5% heal resist total for this set, which is not very great in my personal opinion, but you know what, it is what it is. Okay, in dismounted mode, so I'm gonna go ahead and dismount this. Okay, is fully offensive. Normal attack is 4 hits for a total of 80% damage, or 3 hits for a total of 120% damage. Equal chance of each. Okay, normal and bow / wand attacks are locked to win and get Elicom to damage like a spell. So this is new and unique because normally you know, these sort of Elicom modes, they don't affect bow and wand attacks, but this one does. Okay, and while in this mode, you take -9 blocking, and at the end of your turn, if you attack with a weapon, then you gain barrier equal to 15% times 0.85 times hits connected over hits attempted melee. Comes with a toggle, deflecting winds. Normal and bow attacks do not gain the bonus to Elicom, but the barrier hit is Elicom minus 85%, is it? For melee over range, or 0.75 times Elicom minus 85% for magic instead of 15%. Okay, so let's go ahead and power up everything. Okay, let's do deflecting winds as well. This doesn't cost anything to inflict the barrier. So let's see how much barrier we are getting. 443 barrier. Okay, for the full set, 0 endurance, by the way. This is scaled using endurance. Okay, 35 endurance if you include the miscellaneous item. So I guess there's some synergy there. Actually, not bad. Okay, so it's about 400 plus barrier without any endurance. This is actually pretty decent. Not gonna lie. I thought it would be, you know, looking at the heal resist. Okay, but this is with the heal resist. Yeah. Okay, keep in mind this is with the heal resist. Without the heal resist, the minus 25%, I think this will be slightly weaker. The barrier is boosted by the heal resist. So let's go ahead and check it out without the heal resist. Okay, because you do have to spend 2 turns to get that 25% heal resist. So no setup. Let's see how much you're getting. Okay, I will use the miscellaneous item as well, to be fair. Okay, it already has Gathering Winds. This is already toggled, so let's attack now. So without the heal resist, how much do we get? 331. So you're losing about 100 without the minus 25%. It's okay. 300, I still think it's okay. It's not the worst barrier in the world, but it's also not really the best either in my opinion. But you know, just attacking, you get 300 plus barrier. I think that's pretty average for me. I wouldn't say it's crazy, but yeah, it scales off endurance. So we have 250 endurance, expect a way higher number, okay, according to Lupao. So yeah, that's something you can look forward to. Let's go ahead and use the weapon skill to see how good this combo is, because I've been hearing a lot of things from Lupao about this. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, wait. Can't click on the weapon in this mode. What? How do I... Oh jeez. I can't click on the weapon. Oh, okay. I have to click at the back. 298. So the weapon skill will eat barrier, but at the same time you're also gaining barrier for your attack and with the miscellaneous item. So now it gets reduced to 298. Eats the barrier, gain a barrier. So yeah, you can keep spamming the skill and upkeep the barrier at around 200 plus barrier. Oh wait, what? 441 SP. Oh, okay, not enough barrier to, you know, make this completely free. Okay. So you do run out of barrier after a while. Interesting. So you can't upkeep this forever if you don't have endurance. If you have endurance, it's a different story since you're getting more. Okay. Yeah, okay. So you don't have enough barrier, so the skill is not free. Interesting. But if you do have enough barrier, you gain like 200 plus barrier after eating your own barrier. All in all, I think this set does have synergy. You eat barrier and then you gain barrier back, but you can't loop this indefinitely if you don't have endurance strain. But here's the one main gripe that I have with this set in general is that if you have 250 endurance strain, yes, you get a way bigger barrier. This set will work a lot better, but do you need that much barrier when you have so much HP? That's the question that I have for you guys, and I encourage every one of you guys to think about this. If you have 5,900 plus HP, do you need the barrier? You're basically invincible already. Like, the monster's never going to touch you. So that, in my opinion, is not very good. But the people from my Discord are also saying that you're using the barrier to fuel the nuke, and I can see where they're coming from. So it's not really for defensive purposes, but more for offensive purposes to keep fueling the nuke. And I think that makes sense. But like the defensive part of the barrier, whereby it's supposed to help you tank damage, that's kind of diminished because you don't need that much barrier when you have max endurance, because no matter how much the monster hits you, chances are, you know, you're not going to die that easily, okay? But you're basically immortal with your 250 endurance coupled with this barrier set, okay? Endurance is a bit of a funny stat right now. It's pretty useful for people at lower levels, okay, especially if they are dying to mobs. But for people at endgame and max level, I would say most people generally don't run endurance unless they are running a backlash build. I say most people, I don't mean all people. Some people definitely still do run endurance in their build even if they don't play backlash. But for the most part, a lot of people don't, because it's generally not very efficient at max level. Because if you survive with all of your remaining HP or most of your remaining HP, then that 250 endurance stat is technically wasted. Okay, when you could be putting this into a main stat or a substat like charisma or luck instead, whereby you get to enjoy the benefits of the 250 points for the entire duration of the battle, whether the battle is long, whether the battle is short. But for 250 endurance, if you survive with like a whole ton of HP left, then it's technically wasted because the extra HP not needed. The boost that you get from healing not needed. The boost that you get for the barrier also not needed. Yeah, that's my only gripe with it. It does make sense to boost it with endurance, you know, if you're talking about thematics, but in terms of like a synergy in a practical sense, I think it would be better if they change it to main stat, but that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. Okay, so for the weapon, I think the nuke is decent. Okay, it's not bad, especially if you combine it with the full set. Overall, I will give the weapon a 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think the weapon is not bad. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. The shield, okay, I'm going to assume that they are going to fix it to once per turn. The shield is going to get a 7 out of 10 for me because, number one, we're only getting 6.25% heal resist, which is half of the proposed amount of 12.5%. Number two, the shield, the barrier, the healing scales up endurance. If you don't have endurance, the healing is not worth to use at all. It's like 392 SP to heal like 100 HP. That's the worst trade deal of all time. So no way you want to use this without endurance. Okay, I mean, if you do have status, I guess it's nice for like a QC status cleanse, but then again, we don't really have monsters that inflict threatening statuses right now. It could be useful a few years down the road if we do get monsters with threatening status effects that needs to be cleansed, but right now in the current meta, I just think it's not very good. And I think people are rating this shield quite high because of the unlimited clicks that you can do to basically heal your HP to full, especially if you're running 250 endurance. For me personally, I think the shield is not that fantastic, all things considered, so I'm only giving a 7 out of 10. Okay, I do think the cleanse is not needed. They could just remove the cleanse to fully power up the heal instead. I think that would have been better in my opinion. Okay, oh wait, no. Okay, the healing isn't reduced even if you have nothing to cleanse. Okay, so I stand corrected. But yeah, I do think the cleanse is a bit of a waste. The armor is undoubtedly the best part of the set in my opinion. Like the stuff that you can do, the combos that you can pull off with the armor, the fact that you get Elicom mode that, you know, boosts your bow and wand attacks, is something that we don't have before. And then your FO mode, the deflecting wings, giving you barrier each time you attack, is a nice defensive bonus, sort of similar to Necromancer. And the spell casting that we get every time you cast an offensive spell, you get a bit of barrier. So it's a bit similar to Necromancer in that regard. Okay, overall I would give the armor a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. Like it's the numbers are not high enough for my liking, but you know, this is personal preference. I still do think it deserves a good rating, so I gave it 9 out of 10. The first in the FD mode, the heal resist, considering it's permanent, I think that is really what sold it for a lot of people. Okay, it's not as high as some people would have hoped or as originally proposed, but 12.5% is still not bad. And if you're in the full set, you get a second cast for 25%, which is substantial for sure. So yeah, definitely worth it. The pet, unfortunately, is the worst part of the set. The damage mode is outclassed by other pets. Not outdone, but other pets have the same damage mode and they have something better. Okay, and the heal mode is just pathetic. Like, I don't see any reason why you will ever want to use this guy in the heal mode. The charging is a bit pointless. Like, even with the charging, the damage is okay, but like, you know, you gotta wait 5 turns to get that amount of damage. And the healing, even with the charges, like, it's still pathetic. So I think the pet is like a 0. Like, no reason to use it. Sorry, maybe I'm being biased, but I think the pet is just too weak. They need to either buff up the numbers by a lot, or they need to go ahead and just change the heal mode altogether. Like, change it to give us barrier or something. I think that'll be better. The miscellaneous item, since it's already been bug fixed right now, you're getting a small barrier out of it. Okay, let me check. How much barrier are you getting out of the pet? Okay, out of the miscellaneous item alone, without the armor. Let's see. Okay, I do have the shield, but let's see. 300, 400. It's about 100, I think. Slightly less than 100, or maybe it hovers around 100. Okay, if I don't use it, the weapon, does that affect it? Wait, what? So yeah, it's about 70 to 80 plus without the boosters from the shield, and it's about close to 100 with the shield. So how much SP does it cost? 78 SP per turn. 78 SP for about 100 HP if you use it with the full set. I think that's alright. It's average. It's not the best. The heal resist with it is definitely nice because it gives it synergy with its own skill. So I think the miscellaneous item gets an 8 out of 10 from me. All in all, the set, I have to say initially I wasn't a fan of it. Right now, I wouldn't say it's my favorite set, but I do think it's definitely decent with the exception of the pet. Overall, I think the set gets a 7.5 out of 10 from me, keeping into account the art and what it does. I think the pet really did lower the score quite a lot. If the pet had been better, I think this set might have gotten an 8 or 9 out of 10 from me. But yeah, the pet, you know, it's just not something that I am very pleased with. Okay, so let us compare this to other items because I'm sure you guys definitely want to see that. Okay, so first off, we can compare this against like maybe Necro. Okay, Necro, what if I use it with the shield, the boost from the shield? How much are we getting? No other boosters. Okay, Anima Barrier, it's about 300 already. Okay, if you just come in with Necromancer with the shield equipped. Okay, and if you use Queen Ajaya, let's go ahead and bring out Queen Ajaya. Okay, and then let's see, I am going to go ahead and use Mana Crystal Defender here to get another bonus out of the shield. Okay, this is the regular lean, not spellcaster lean. So if I cast a damage spell, let's see, I do this. So my 300 barrier becomes 481, so another about 181, and then Queen Ajaya gives me another 100. Okay, so with this setup alone, I would think I'm getting around the same numbers as the setup with the full Wingweaver set. So yeah, it's definitely comparable, but does it beat all this? No, it doesn't. Also, Wingweaver set doesn't need another gas out, so I guess that's a plus point. The Wingweaver set is performing a little bit better than Necro, but what if I do Necro with the boosters here? I forgot what boosters affect it already. Let me see. What's the one with change lean? This one, Spellcaster. Okay, Spiritual Amp. I think this affects it, right? Necro Presence, 50 Intellect. I can't remember if that affects it. Let's go ahead and do this again. Okay, together with Crystal Mana Defender, 563. And we are getting 400. Was that lucky? Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, but Necromancer's barriers can lucky strike, whereas all the barriers that you get from Wingweaver, you cannot lucky strike. So that's a plus point that Necromancer has over the other sets. Okay, so if you want to lucky strike with it, then yeah, it's going to be better. Okay, and for the first time, before you do your spell casting, 500 with the spellcaster lean. That's crazy. Before you do your spellcasting, you just want to come in with this. Then don't come in with Mana Crystal Defender. Come in with the Wingweaver shield. That will be a lot better. So let's try that again to make sure that it's not a fluke. Okay. So if we have spellcaster lean on it and we come in, yeah, 500 barrier, just like that. That's crazy. Okay, now if we use it with the Wingweaver shield, which gives us more heal resist, let's see how much it gives. Okay, without any boosters or whatnot. Alternatively, what you can also do is after you start, you equip your all the stuff that you want first. So I can equip, let's see here, I can equip the Wingweaver, and I can equip the miscellaneous item as well for the extra heal boost. I can even go into Wingweaver and get the extra heal resist from the skill first, though that means that you need to spend 2 turns. So I'm going to do this with a 0 turn setup. Let's see how much we can get. Come in here right now. 579. That's about the same. Why is it about the same? Hold on. Did we just get lucky or what? Why is it about the same? Let's try that again. Maybe that was a fluke. That was kind of low. I was expecting higher. Okay, Wingweaver. 600. Okay, that's more like it. Now let's try it one more time just to make sure. So it's about 600. It's a very, very small boost, but I would say it's a noticeable boost nonetheless. So if you want to, you know, make the best out of it, equip all your heal res gear, maybe even do the heal res skill before you come in with your spell slinger, and you get a free. Yeah, it's about. Yeah, it's only about 500 plus. Okay, the boost is very, very small. Like, it's almost insignificant in my opinion, but better than nothing, I guess. Nightmare Omen, you can also click on it to get a barrier. This is quick cast, I believe. Oops, not enough. Okay, so let's click on this. So yeah, you get another barrier out of that. Okay, if you want to boost it, you can go ahead and boost it with your Wingweaver Miscellaneous item. And let's see, let's do that. Gathering Winds. Does that only affect regular attacks? Does that affect spells as well? I'm not sure. Weapon attack or spell. Oh, so it does affect spells as well. Nice. So, if I do this, and then Shields, Mana Crystal Defender, if I use the Wingweaver Spirit, okay, it's already gathering winds. Let's see how much we can get. Okay, not much boost, just a boost from the Necromancer alone. Okay, if I wanted to boost this higher, I can go ahead and bring out the boosting pet and guess like Polala. Okay, so 700 with Queen Ajaya, everything becomes 1254. So you get about another 500 plus HP barrier, and this is without endurance, by the way. So let's go ahead and test this with endurance. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to test that I'm missing out? Let me see. Just double check here. Okay, nothing. Alright, so I'm going to retrain my stats, and we are going to test out the set with endurance and compare it with Necromancer. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So because the barrier from Wingweaver cannot Lucky Strike, so I untrained Luck and just dumped it into endurance instead. Okay, so we are going to do this. Wingweaver's Aegis. Okay, let's just start. I'm going to dismiss the guess so you guys can see the numbers. Wingweaver, this one doesn't give a barrier at all, so there's no point in using that. Wingweaver's Spirit. Okay, already gathering winds, and then we can go ahead and do... shall we do deflecting winds first or the first skill first? Okay, I think we do the first skill first. The animations for this armor are beautiful, by the way. Okay, so we don't have sufficient barrier right now. So it's gonna cost a fat amount of barrier, but we can use this. Oh, 613. Nice. And then we can go ahead and switch back. This is basically a free power up for this. So do warriors or mages get more out of this? I'm going to say both gets an even amount, because warriors you can use Dragon Lord Shield, though it does cost something. Mages you do get a free barrier and necro already, so I guess that's kind of good. So yeah, both warriors and mages do get a little something out of this. Rangers on the other hand, well, this is a pretty defensive armor, so if you're a ranger, you're already going to be able to use this armor to pretty good effect, okay? Oh, also the 17th birthday cupcake, I forgot to mention. This one, you can click on it to get once per turn, you can get a barrier. Oh, wait, what? You already have a mana shield. Oh, you can't get it if you already have it. Wow, okay, that sucks, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's do Invigorating Winds. Okay. And then we are going to do it one more time. Invigorating Winds. Okay. Oh, 0 now. Okay, so now we get 25% heal resist. Okay, so now heal resist is boosted up to the very maximum. So, going to do Wingweaver Spirit. And I'm going to dismount because this will mean our attacks get Elecom and we will gain barrier. So right now we have 443. So if I click on this, okay, we are actually gaining barrier. That's nice. Oh, okay, not enough. Yeah, still not enough. Huh. Yeah, we're actually gaining barrier. Okay, but it's not sufficient to spam it, I think. Let's see. 447. Okay, maybe I switch the monsters with this so it doesn't hit me that hard. But here's the thing, normal monsters are obviously going to hit harder than combat practice trainer will. So something to keep in mind also. Yeah, you can't upkeep this indefinitely. I'm not sure how Lu Pao is doing it. I think it's cause he was using some boosters. Okay, but I'm trying to do this without boosters. Okay, so let's go ahead and spam the skill again. So eat all the barrier to gain another barrier. 452 barrier. Okay, can I eat it again? I can. Okay, now you get 500 barrier. Okay, so yeah, it looks like you can sustain this indefinitely, I think. Oh, you need to be... Okay, no. Yeah, see, now I don't think we have enough. See, now it costs us SP. So you need to be lucky enough to gain a big enough barrier in order to, you know, sustain this. If you don't get enough barrier, and this is with the max boosting, apart from pets and guesses that I could do already. So I already have intellect, I already have endurance fully trained, and you know, I got all the heal boosters. I even got the 25% heal rest, but it's still not enough to infinitely loop it. Like, I need some other form. Maybe if I just bring out Queen Ajaya, it will be enough. Or if I just bring up Polala, it will be enough. So yeah, you do need a little bit of extra apart from the set itself if you want to infinitely sustain this nuke fuel barrier thing. Okay, that, you know, a lot of people have been telling me about. Yeah, on its own, it's not enough. It's definitely not enough. Okay, Wingweaver Spirit. Click on this. So, oh, already dead. Whoops a daisy. So I'll get a free barrier out of this first. Okay. 356, okay. And then we'll get another one from Spellslinger. 999, okay. And then we can go into Prismatic Wingweaver. Get a bit more SP. I don't know if we'll need it. Probably not. There should be enough barrier. So yeah, there are ways to gain enough SP for free. If you have the Cupcake, if you have the Necromancer. You don't need the Cupcake because it is perma-rare and not everyone is going to have it. If you have Necromancer, just bring it out one turn and then switch back into this and you should have more than enough to, I think, infinitely sustain it. Let's just double check. Okay, so already have Gathering Winds effect. And this one is already toggled on. So if I click on this, yeah, ate up all 999 SP, and then now we get 515. Okay, enough. 364, 566. Yeah, with a Queen Ajaya guess, you can sustain this indefinitely, but only if you have Queen Ajaya. Yeah, without Queen Ajaya, if you get unlucky rolls like this, oh, even with Queen Ajaya, it might not be guaranteed. Yeah, even with Queen Ajaya, if you get unlucky on the roll, it is not guaranteed. What if I do Polala? Does Polala boost this? I think it does, right? Yeah, let's bring up Polala. That's what I'm telling you guys. The pet is just not great. I wish that they'll change the pet, you know. The pet is really the one that is pulling down the entire set. Like, I just think the pet is like so bad. Come on. So I still do have charisma, so that's nice. Let's see, let's start battle first. Okay, shield will bring out Wingweaver's Aegis items. We will do Cupcake first. Okay, and then we will go ahead and do Wingweaver Spirit over here. Oh, you can, what you can also do is Grugma Harbinger. Okay, this will also boost it by a lot. 775. Okay, back to, oh wait, did I even toggle that on? I didn't even toggle that on. Silly me. So that was without the boost. Okay, never mind about that. Yeah. Items, Wingweaver Spirit, and then armor, change back to your Wingweaver armor. Now we have 775. Okay, so bring this out and let's go ahead, click on it. So 8 of the barrier. 546. Okay. This is pretty SP intensive though. So yeah, you might not be able to sustain this indefinitely without some form of SP heal. That's where the pet is supposed to come in for the set. But the pet's heal is pathetic, so don't use that. Yeah, use Fey Wanderer instead, or use some other SP healing instead, or just use Essence Orb literally. Okay, so cast and 385. That was a low roll. 483. That was average roll, and right now I don't think it's enough. Barely enough. Yeah, just barely enough. 382 once again. 510. Okay, now we definitely have enough. So yeah, it's not guaranteed sustain. That's the problem. It's not guaranteed that you can keep spamming it. What if you max out the barrier? Yeah, hold on. I'm wondering, what if you max out the barrier before you attack? How much damage can you do? 802. Okay, let's try and max out the barrier first, and then we'll hit. I don't know what is the max. Okay, I'm gonna go for as much as I can. Hopefully the combat practice trainer has enough HP for me to do that. 1494. 1875. I'm gonna go for 3000 HP barrier. Okay, win, so it does. So he eats as little of my barrier as possible. 2368. 2.5k. Oh, miss. Very nice. Okay, 3000 barrier. Does it eat up all 3000? It doesn't, right? Because there's a cap. I'm not sure what is the 300% melee cap. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, not bad. Oh, so max it eats up about 1.5k, slightly less than that, I think. Okay, of barrier to go ahead and boost the damage. All in all, with max barrier eating, I think the damage is decent for sure. But in order to get max barrier to eat and perform it almost indefinitely, you do need to spend like a couple of turns setting up enough barrier first. Okay, even if all the boosters that I did here, okay, you cannot sustain it indefinitely if you get low rolls on your on the barrier for each attack. So you need to roll slightly above average in order to, you know, keep spamming the nuke skill, and you also need to couple it with a booster gas as well as a booster pad to maximize your chances of being able to spam it. So yeah, you can't really use the full set to its full effect on its own, which I think is okay. It's not such a big deal, but I do think that, you know, they could buff it a little bit, just a little bit, okay? I'm being very nitpicky here. Again, maybe it's because I'm biased because this is not the set that I wanted, but all in all, I don't think it's a bad set. Do I think it's the best set in the world? No. So let me know what you guys think of the set down in the description below. If I missed out any other combos that you guys like to see, feel free to let me know as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. Till the next time, I'm your host Korban Gaming. Peace out.